Hello, everybody. I hope and pray that your week is off to an amazing start. As for mine, it is because I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow, so I'm excited about it. Thank you guys for hopping on. Do me a huge favor and put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love to give you a shout out. Again, I hope and pray that your week is off to an amazing start. I've been real busy, doing my clients and packing and stuff. Gil and I are gonna go hang out in Jamaica for a week. We just need to get a little time together. And again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I truly appreciate you. Make sure you put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love to give you a shout out. Hi, Francis from Florida. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. I appreciate you. Last name Lawrence. I don't want to mess up your Conchita. I don't want to mess up your first name. So thank you so much for joining me from Maryland. I appreciate you. I really do. You guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate you. I really do. And like I said, I'm excited. Gil and I gonna hang out in Jamaica for a week. So I hope and pray that you guys, like I said, are off to a great start. Hey, BGP from well, you said Rob from PA. Thank you so much for getting on here. I appreciate you. I really do. My YouTube channel coming through today. I appreciate you guys. This chat comes from a wife from Wisconsin, and this is what she wanted to know. She says, "How do I make the small things matter in my marriage?" She says, "I'm a wife. I've been married 14 years. We have 3 small kids." And this is her message to me. "Dr. Gail, my husband said to me that I am a great at everything that I do. And I'm great at the big things that I do, like being an amazing mom and being an amazing homemaker and a great wife to him. But he also said that I don't make the small things matter, and the small things matter to him. Can you please help me with what he means by the small things?" I didn't want to ask him what the small things are because I was too embarrassed for me to not know what those small things are. Can you help me what he means by small things in the marriage? Now, let me just tell you that whenever you do a wife, send me a wife chat, whether it's a man or a woman, I always try to reach out through email or however you message me in order to get more details. Unfortunately, I was not able to get back with this young lady. So I'm going to just equate small things to what I believe are important in a relationship. And it is great to do the big things in the relationship, like go to work and take care of your family, be a good mother, a good for men, be a good provider, or the wife be a good provider. All of those big things, keep the lights on and keep the water running. All of those big things are important. But I believe that the small things are the things that help grow and keep the glue of the marriage together. Okay. And so, again, I didn't get a chance to really have a conversation with her to figure out what direction was he talking about when it came to the small things, because the small things in a marriage mean different things, and it means different things to different people because everybody has different relationships. So let me just tell you the small things that matter in my marriage, and hopefully these small things will help with whoever's out here listening. And again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Please do me a favor and put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love to give you a shout out. Okay. So the small things that I think matter, not just in my marriage, but these are the small things that are important to Gil and I, but just to most couples that you should try to pay attention to and try to um, implement on a regular basis. Okay. Marissa, thank you so much for joining me from Atlanta. I appreciate you. Latonia, thank you so much for joining me from Maryland. I appreciate you. Okay. And so, again, these small things are things that we don't often think about because, again, we're busy and we're trying to make sure that the big things are done. But if your spouse is saying these small things, I need for you to pay attention to the small things, then you need to just, have the conversation and say, tell me what these small things are in order for me to be able to pay attention to them. Okay. And so and it's funny that Gil and I had this conversation probably about 2 years ago about the small things, because we do worry about the big things and not the small things. Okay. Number one, a small thing that could be important to your spouse or your significant other is just making sure that you snuggle together, right? A lot of times we don't even take the time to snuggle together, give each other a hug. Those kind of things are important because it's just closeness. Yes, sex is important, but just laying in the bed or sitting in a chair and just snuggling and watching a movie or just falling asleep in each other's arms, is that could be something very important, and it keeps you and binds you guys together, right? Because you're in each other's personal space. Okay. Number two is showing gratitude. And this is a big one because we can tick off 1,000 things that our spouse is doing wrong, but we find it very hard to find and tell them something that they're doing right, right? And I did a test at one of my conferences, and it was like 150 ladies there. And I did a test, and I just went around and I said, tell me something that your husband does great. And they were like, and then I was like, tell me something he does wrong. And we could just tick those lists off, right? And if you go to my website, there's a 30-day gratitude challenge that's free. And that challenge came from me because I was one of those people that could tick off 1,000 things that Gil did wrong, but I couldn't tick off 2 or 3 things that he did right. And they do something right every single day, right? And so God made me go on a 30-day gratitude challenge. And I'm not going to lie, the very first thing I put, the very first day, I was like, thank you for waking up. The second day, it was thank you for taking the trash out. I'm really serious because I was in a space where he was getting on my nerves and nothing that he did was making me happy. And so show your spouse some gratitude, right? Show them that you appreciate the small things that they do or the big things that they do every single day. Okay. Number 3 is pray for your spouse. It's important for you to pray for your spouse. Even when you don't like them, pray for them. Pray for your marriage. Pray for yourself. And that is important. And if you can pray together, that's even better, right? Because prayer does change things and prayer does help us any situation that you're going through in your marriage. And I'm talking about the small things that you can implement in your marriage that we take for granted. Number 4 is learn to listen. That is a hard one, especially if you're a talker like me. Learn to listen to understand and not always to respond. That's huge because the brain is already trained, especially if you've been with them any length of time, is to always formulate to respond, especially when you're not in a good space. But learn to listen to understand and not always to respond, because sometimes you think you've been with them so long, you already know what they're about to say, and it's not always true. So learn to listen and not be always talking. Okay. Number 5, learn to apologize humbly. Woo! I'm talking to myself, right? Learn to apologize humbly, right? Because a lot of times we apologize, but it's a but after it. But you right? But learn to apologize and leave it alone, and be humble and mean the apology, and not put a precursor, but you did, but what about, but no, learn to apologize and leave it there and be humble about your apology. Number 6, take the lead in the bedroom, especially for women. A lot of times we don't want to take the lead in the bedroom, but men like to be pursued just like we like to be pursued. Men want to feel wanted just like we want to feel wanted. And they want us to take the lead sometimes in the bedroom. And again, that's a small thing, but it can lead to huge results in your marriage. Because again, men want to feel wanted, they want to feel desired, they want to feel that they're good looking to you. All the things that we want, they want as well. Okay. B BGP just gave me a thumbs up. I must be doing something right. Thank you. um Number 7, learn to laugh together. I understand that we are inundated, we're overworked, underpaid, got kids going on, we got all of these things going on that we put in our plate. We're working to pay the light bill, keep the the car run, all of this. I understand the stress. I really, really do. But sometimes you gotta take the time to laugh. And let me just tell you, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've coached and counseled over 9,000 couples in that 20 years. That's a lot of people. And what I found out that a lot of people's marriages begin to fail, or they open the door for infidelity because they have stopped laughing together. They've stopped dating each other, and they stop finding each other funny, and doing the funny things that used to make them, that used to bind them together. So learn to laugh. It's okay. It's okay to just stop and just break out in a dance and just laugh. Go to a funny movie and laugh. Sometimes life is so serious we forget to laugh, and laughter is the key to life. So laugh. Okay, learn to laugh. um, Conchetta said that's a difficult one since my mother and grandmother and the church kept teaching us differently. I understand that, and I have done teaching on. I have done teaching on religion, and when it comes to intimacy and sex and all of those kind of things. But in the confines of marriage, the marital bed is undefiled. And let me just tell you, you can take the lead in the bedroom. I think that's what you're talking about. And yes, I too was raised in a strict kind of religion, that told us good, nice church girls don't behave that way. But let me just tell you, you got married, you're in a different space, and God doesn't look bad on that. Okay. He does not. Okay. And so and it's just really rethinking and changing your belief patterns, because again, I understand where you were, but you're not going to hell doing what you need to do to pleasure each other in your bedroom. Because God created sex, and he created it for the marital bed. Okay, so I just want to tell you that, because a lot of times we are condemned in that, and that's the reason why I started my conference, bringing sexy back to the marriage, because I understand that a lot, and 99% of the women who come to my conference from around the world are women of faith, and we break a lot of that limited beliefs, and a lot of the stifling that we grew up with that has hindered us from enjoying and from giving and receiving pleasure. Okay. So I won't go in there, but I have done some teaching on that. Okay. Number 8, spend quality time together away from the kids if you can, because quality time, and it doesn't have to be an extended time, but the same thing that you did to get each other is the same thing that you got to do times 10 to keep each other. So spend some quality time together, right? It doesn't have to be anything great. You don't even have to leave your, but turn off all the noise. Get in a space where it's just you and your spouse, where you can have a conversation, watch a movie, laugh, cry, whatever it is, dance, whatever that looks like for you. But spend some quality time that's not around something, but just focus in on each other. Okay. And number 9, learn to build up your spouse. The world tears them down every single day, especially men, right? But learn to build your spouse up, whether you're a man on here watching or a woman. Learn to build them up, because when they leave those walls, they're getting hit every single day, whether it's at work. It's always something, right? And men, a lot of men don't get no break. They have it hard at work, and they come home and they have it hard with us women if we not happy with ourselves. So learn to build your spouse up. Learn to encourage them in their dreams and their goals and their aspirations. Learn that. Okay? And number 10, learn to tell them that you love them daily, because tomorrow's not promised. So learn to tell them that you love them daily, because tomorrow is not promised. And again, sometimes that's hard, especially if you're not in a good space. But again, tomorrow is not promised. So do these little things. And like I said, these are just little things that you can do to enhance your marriage, and to grow it, and to keep you guys close. It's not something that you got to, you got to prepare for. It's just small things. It's just being considerate of each other. Okay. Purity cultures have made damage. Yes, yes, it has damage. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so true. We gotta laugh. Yes, it is true. A lot of this stuff that we are experiencing in our marriages comes from how we were raised, the culture we was raised in, the people we was around. If we didn't see healthy marriages, all of those kind of things can shape how you show up every single day in your marriage. But if you're open to learning new skills, a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things, I'm telling you, you can change your marriage. I'm her. I didn't grow up in seeing healthy relationships. I grew up being groomed to be a boss. You don't need a man for anything. You could take care of yourself, right? And that's not right. But that's all I knew. Okay. But when you know better, you can do better. Okay. So again, I hope and pray that this helps somebody in their marriage, and just start small. You don't have to do all of these today, but just start small and begin to progress, and show your spouse some gratitude. And like I said, you can go to my website, gailcrowder.com, and download the free 30-day gratitude thing. I'm telling you, it changed my marriage, because Gil didn't realize how much I appreciate him, because I never told him those things. I always told him the stuff he was doing wrong. Okay. I hope and pray, like I said, that this helps somebody. Is there any more questions or any more comments that anybody has? A few things. The whole nation of high capacity is such a bad thing in general. I think it causes more anxiety issues for ladies. That is true. That is true. It is. It can cause a lot of anxiety, especially if you're not used to taking the lead, especially if you was taught that it was bad. That is true. Okay. You guys, I am trying to get my television show right. I mean, literally over the finish line. We're almost there. If you would like to contribute to helping me do that, if you go on this page that you're currently watching, if you're on YouTube, there's a little clip that says Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage TV show. You can click the link and see how you can help me do that. If you have a chat that you want me to do, All you have to do is hit me up on any of my social media, or you can inbox me. I will never say your name. All I need is where you're from, how many children you have, if you have any, and how long you've been married, and your situation. And I will always, always let you know before I do your chat. And if that's it, you guys, y'all know how to find me. If you need to talk to me, all you need to do is go to my website. You can schedule a free 15-minute discovery call. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to help you with one problem, one situation that you have going on in your marriage. Because again, I want to see you win. I really do want to see you win. And you guys pray that Gail and I have a great time, because we're going to unwind and have a great time in Jamaica. I will see you guys next week.